Hey Kelly, how are you?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. You screwed up our show.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're doing just fine.
We got Kelly
Sorry
Patrick here, the other host of KentuckySports.co Bluegrass Breakdown. Looking sharp, Kelly. Did you comb your hair for the occasion?
I did.
Does it just stay like that?
I wake up and it's just like this.
You look. I can't say what you look like right now, but you know. Anyways, what are your thoughts of last week in Louisville? They had basketball. Tell us a little bit.
What about it? The injuries?
No, Cardinal basketball. What are you thinking so far? They're 2-0. How'd they look to you?
Guys like Swapshire, I'm telling you. Tyler, you were wrong. Swapshire is a beast.
Yeah, I will bite my tongue. As for the first week, he did play well. But, Kelly, it's a long season, my friend. I do expect the Swap to go back to normal form.
I think Louisville will be all right. There's been some reason to be very nervous. I'll admit that. Injuries. I mean, Peyton Siva, the one guy we can't afford to lose. I mean, John. I mean, he's the one guy that we can't lose, and it looks like we may miss him for Saturday.
Yeah, but I think it's. I really don't think it's as bad as. I mean, he was wearing a boot today apparently, but it doesn't seem as bad as we first thought. It was thought yesterday that he was going to be out for 2 weeks, so it looks like he might just be out for at least until next week. So
yeah, I even heard he may play a little bit on Saturday.
I think if we're losing, he'll be in the game. I think you'll have to carry him off to not want to play.
Yeah.
Now, Kelly, Louisville does play Butler this weekend. They beat Butler last year in the opening game of the Yum Center, the Chum Bucket, as I like to call it. What are your predictions for the game against Butler?
Louisville's going to win 72-58.
72-58.
Yeah. Going into last year, everyone expected Butler not to be that good. They obviously were. They made it to the national title game. I think they'll have a good season, and they'll give Louisville a good fight. But I think Louisville will win, by 14.
Now,
that's what that is, isn't it? 14.
Good math.
There you go. There you go, 14.
He's got a lot of typos, but he can do his math.
Studying has paid off for him.
I didn't have any typos. I don't know what that guy was talking about. I called him out on it. Wrote an article. Someone calls me out and says I have typos. I look with my eyes. I don't see any typos.
Every time Kelly writes an article, somebody says, "Wow, that's a lot of typos." Every single time.
And I can't find them, so apparently it's just some hidden. I mean, you guys look through it. Bring it up on the screen right now. Have your listeners.
It was a Kentucky fan. We'll say that they don't read well sometimes.
Now, Kelly,
some guy who's a law student at UK, so probably a semi-sharp guy. I asked him. I reread both the articles I posted yesterday. Didn't see any typos. I don't know. He may have been referring to Pat Forty's article.
Could be.
Good call. Now,
find a link there to Pat Forty's article. I don't know. It wasn't me.
Now, if you had a chance to have Pat Forty's hair, would you take his hair or the hair that you already have?
It's a great question, and I've thought about that before. I would keep my hair over Pat Forty's hair and about anyone else's.
So you thought about that before, huh?
I've thought specifically about that before, yes.
That's awesome. Now, we haven't really talked about football much. We're going to get into that a little bit in the next segment. But I do want to go ahead and ask your thoughts of this. Charlie Strong has now officially blamed a lack of focus on my favorite video game and the world's favorite video game, Modern Warfare 3. What? Oh, come on, Charles.
What did he call it? Call of Duty?
Call of Duty.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, Call of Duty. He said there was a lack of focus during practice.
He called it Call of Duty, so he even disrespected it more. He called it the wrong name.
I just think it's a little absurd, Kelly, and I thought you, out of all people, might have something to say about that.
I have no problem with it. I think it's awesome. That's old man type mentality. It proves that although he can relate to a lot of these kids, and obviously they all love him. You saw him crowd surfing in the locker room. They love him, but he's got an old school, tough, element of toughness to him it really comes through when he rips on Call to Duty.
All right, there you go. Kelly, we appreciate you coming on. Kelly Patrick here, another host and blogger with KentuckySports.co. Get on the site and check him out. Kelly, thanks again and have a good night, my man.
You too. See you guys.
That was kind of odd, John. He just came out of nowhere. What was that, Matt? He just all of a sudden was just there talking to us.
It's the producing sneakiness.
Now, first off, we were supposed to call him and sneak up on him.
I did call him. I just didn't tell you I was calling him.
Let's see how it is. I don't know much around these parts anymore.